Angry guy here, and women are furious that men are refusing to have sex with them as passport bros leave. Women are furious that men are refusing to have sex with them as passport bros leave. Let's just go ahead and jump right into this article. It's pretty unbelievable. So, as you can see, it's titled, Nobody Should Care About a Woman's Body Count. Popular internet personalities are peddling repressive, misogynistic ideas to their youth male fans. This was written by Helen Lewis, a woman. Ever since Elon Musk lackeys began fiddling with the algorithm of X, formerly Twitter, I have noticed a distinct shift in the content that is pushed onto users. My For You tab is now a nest of tradwives, shoplifting videos, and that guy who has strong opinions on trouser creases. It is also home to the kind of old-fashioned misogyny that I once thought was on the decline. And that's because X, a small social network beloved by journalists, is now providing a window into a much bigger part of the internet, one that is simultaneously absurdly popular and almost invisible to outsiders. It is the interlinking Venn diagram of Twitch streamers, mixed martial arts, wrestling, and boxing fandoms. Manosphere influencers. So, guys, the Manosphere has now gone mainstream. And video game commentators. The way that these guys turn up on one another's podcasts, X feeds, and live streams, and their habit of physically fighting one another for money makes them seem like a younger, more ripped version of the intellectual dark web. One of the obsessions of the worst part of this group call them influential jerk web. Guys, jerk. Look how they like to shame us. They're losing. They're losing. Is body count discourse in which women, always women, are shamed for the number of partners they've had, intimate partners they've had. The phrase has gained popularity so quickly that Jason Derulo has just released a song about it. Now, Derulo is okay with a high body count. All that butt must be good at math, he observes, but others are not. A lot of the world's problems could be fixed if women walked around with their body count on their foreheads. The professional kickboxer turned bad guy influencer Andrew Tate said in one viral clip. A bit rich, you might think, coming from a self-confessed former manager of Women of the Night, who is currently awaiting trial on charges of nefarious actions. But Tate is only one of many influencers who talk like ayatollahs while adhering to the beauty standards of Ryan Gosling in Barbie. The men provide Gen Z and younger millennials with a very old template for masculinity filtered through the new visual grammar and vocabulary of YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Take the mixed martial arts Danis, who is scheduled to fight the YouTuber turned pro wrestler Logan Paul in a boxing match in Manchester, England on October 14th. In the past 5 years, influencer boxing has become a lucrative content machine. Logan and his brother Jake, who have more than 20 million YouTube followers each, have led to the trend, alongside the British streamer JJ Olatunji, better known as KSI. Their venues are located across the world, in places such as Texas and Saudi Arabia, and the fights make thousands of dollars on pay-per-view. Influencer boxing is characterized by the kind of pre-match smack talk familiar from professional wrestling, but internet-fied. And that means, unfortunately, a torrent of terrible comments directed at women. Scroll down Danis's X feed, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Over the past few weeks, he has relentlessly targeted Paul's fiancée, Nina Agdal posting photographs of her with exes digging out Instagram posts in which she is somewhat scantily dressed as if she's a model. Oh, so that's the excuse, right? Guys, I just love when they call women on Instagram model. She's an Instagram model. Oh, she's on OF. She's an OF model. Bro, those aren't models. Those aren't models, all right? Those are ladies of the night. On those they are no different than women than ladies of the night that work on the streets, all right? Except they're working on the internet. And I've said this once and I'll say it again. Only Fools is just a gateway to street work. Only Fools is just a gateway. Is just a gateway to meeting up in person. All right, to finding clients. How do you think a lot of the women on Only Fools right now are surviving when many of them barely make $400 a month? All right, through the platform. So how are they surviving? Why would they still have an account open? All right, it's the same thing that they're doing on Instagram, the same stuff they were doing on Snapchat. They're using the platform to find clients. All right, they've even been on television shows. They've actually been on television shows with their clients. Some of these guys who turned out to be total creeps. Total creeps. All right, it's insane. And then begin bankrolling them. It's sickening. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. So we're talking about Logan Paul's fiance Nina Agdal, and all right. So they were digging out Instagram post in which she's somewhat scantily clad. Oh yeah, like it's nothing, claiming that he could put any prize money toward HIV medication bills for Nina's exes. Oh my, implying that she has dated everyone she has ever been photographed with, and calling her a 304. Okay. The tsunami of shaming nestles between other insults, such as mocking Paul's failed NFT project, CryptoZoo. In return, Paul has taunted Danis about his deceased father. Most fans will therefore see the cracks about Nina Agdal, a professional wrestling style kayfabe, building up the hype for the fight so that Paul is trying to not just win the match but defend his honor. This is a load of baloney, guys. A load of baloney. Total load of baloney. This is madness, all right? Pro wrestling is a highly choreographed sport. Many fights are billed as grudge matches, and the Paul brothers' internet era innovation has been to bring its obsession with storylines to boxing. In 2019, Logan Paul claimed at a press conference that KSI's family didn't love him. 4 years later, 4 years on, the two men own the sports drink company Prime together. Paul and KSI. All right. But one person who apparently doesn't find the post funny, is Agnal herself. So Logan Paul's girlfriend, who's been getting trolled by the internet for her past promiscuity. On September 6th, she filed an injunction under New Jersey revenge laws, accusing Danis of posting a non-consensual, explicit photograph of her, displaying full frontal imagery to millions of social media users in the course of a relentless, ongoing, so full frontal, unclothed imagery to millions of social media users in the course of a relentless, ongoing campaign of cyber harassment and bullying against her. She'll lose, so she will actually lose that. Just to make it very, very clear, because if it was already a picture that's available in the public domain, then yeah, she was granted a temporary restraining order. Danis deleted that photo, but falsely claimed that Agdal was trying to put him in jail. She is seeking damages. See, this is how they work, guys. This is how it works. She can't beat him, so she's filing a civil case against him. All right? Because if you don't do anything illegal, what they do is they file a civil case against you, and that's how they go after you. This is actually wild. He added in a post that, according to X, has been viewed 18 million times. Danis presented the lawsuit as his opponent's camp trying to tank the October 14 fight, adding, Logan Paul is a deceased man walking. In feminist circles, Danis's behavior would be classified as Darvo, deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. The sympathetic character in his version of the story is himself, a man threatened with jail for engaging merely in some lighthearted badinage. Shh! Don't mention that it was at the expense of a woman who never asked to be involved with the circus. When Agdal understandably complained about becoming the focus of his fans' aggression, Danis called upon 2020's favorite trope, woman disliking trope, Nina Agdal will be called Karen Agdal till further notice. I can't be the only one who thought we had left overt, unapologetic disliking of women like this behind. What is most striking about Danis's feed is how masculine his world seems. Life is a competition between men, and women are just the prizes or the liabilities. Tate, whose public comments give him little indication that he enjoys spending time with women, shows the same attitude. Maybe these guys are obsessed with body counts because they treat life as one giant scoreboard. Whether or not, okay, so whether or not Danis sees his post as kayfabe is irrelevant. At least some portion of his audience won't, because he is tapping into well established anti feminist talking points. In this world, the most humiliating thing that could happen to a man is failing to control his woman, an attitude that puts men in a torturous position of constant precocity. Other humans are by definition uncontrollable, no matter how much you intimidate them or patrol their behavior. But tell that to the late millennial and Gen Z influencers trying to shame women so that they will behave and not embarrass the men who are deemed to be in charge of them. Oh, this is hilarious. This is hilarious stuff, guys. This is so funny. Misogyny occupies a sweet spot in our culture. It is frowned upon enough to make young men trading off it feel edgy, but it is typically taken less seriously than racism. Its post hashtag M2 resurgence has led to members of the influential jerk web, wow, jerk web, coming out with phrases you might have thought passed away with the 19th century laws on acceptable forms of this of dishonoring one's wife. In 2021, the live streamer Sneeko notoriously confessed that he had watched his girlfriend have intimate relations with another man at a party and told the peer-to-peer podcast it felt like somebody was taking something from me, like someone was violating my property. He was at pains to note that wanting to watch another man have intimacy in no way suggested that he was into both men and women, which suggests a brittle borderline of fear against men who like other men is part of the deal. Two other things are worth noting about the body count discourse. The first is that some people on the edge of the influential jerk web have consciously rejected its exhausting monitoring of women's intimacy. The left-wing streamer Destiny, for example, was raised Catholic, but is now an open mind, but is now in a open relationship with his partner. That's his wife. That's his wife. He's in an open relationship with his wife, Melina Goranson, who regularly mocks Danis and other bro streamers, and recently retweeted a post by another user that read, "Quickly now, do some push-ups. That's how we change the world. Now go home and call women 304s for not acknowledging your existence and making their own money." The second thing is that in accordance with Rule 34 of the internet, the straight male anxiety that Danis and Tate are tapping into into has been translated into adult content. One of those joining the pushback against Dylan Danis was the influencer Adam Grand Mason, better known as Adam 22. He has a podcast with his wife, Lena Narasane, or Lena the Plug, where they interview a female adult actor and then sleep with her. engage in intimacy with her. Last month, though, Nerasun slept with another man instead, amid all the mockery about Lena's body count and how Adam was a cuck. The video went viral, so viral that he bought her a $400,000 Lamborghini to celebrate its success. Tate criticized them, telling the former Fox News host Tucker Carlson that this is what the Matrix wants from you as a man. They want the woman in charge and the man below with no backbone. I would argue in nearly any household where the female is dominant, everyone has been properly inoculated. Unfazed, the couple went on a podcast with Tate and invited him to take part in a threesome. Tate declined. Guys, the person writing this article seems to think that she is going to find support. This sounds terrible. It's like what she's presenting here. She's like, oh my gosh, look how terrible these guys are. They are all right. A healthy relationship. A man who is in an open marriage is in a healthy relationship, and young men should be taught that to be in a that is what is that's an example of a healthy relationship. All right, Destiny is the example of a real man. His wife is in there. He's in a open marriage. His wife does whatever she wants to, and she has an OnlyFools. All right, she's on one of those platforms that are similar to OnlyFools. She has an OnlyFools. All right, she's on OnlyFools, and this is what they're promoting. This is what they're promoting. All right, let's continue. Okay, so it says, unfazed, the couple went on a podcast with Tate and invited him to take part in the threesome. Guys, do you see how terrible this is? How terrible this is? This is what they're promoting. They're telling saying young men should be secure with this type of thing. All right, young men should be secure with should look up to people who are engaged in degeneracy. Adam 22 is someone that young men should look up to and respect, and his relationship with his relationship with his wife and how his wife operates. We should respect guys like Destiny and Adam 22. I don't know how this is. The intense interest in Grand Madison and Nessarian's relationship makes sense. If the worst thing you could say to a man is that his partner is a 304, then there's money on the table for whoever will admit to reveling in his wife's high body count. And that's the real lesson here. The internet has smashed all kinds of taboos, but without taboos, how can people feel the thrill of breaking them? The influential jerk web has brought back shaming, not just to control women, but to extract pleasure from doing so. All right. Helen Lewis is a staff writer at The Atlantic. Cancel, guys. This is where we're at right now. This is the insane reality that we're in. This is the clown world that we're currently living in. And they seem to think that they're going to convince young men. They think they're going to convince young men to go along with this. That's insanity. That's madness. Look at the world we're currently living in. Look at what's happening in other parts of the world right now. Look at the clown world. And here's the interesting thing. As they're ripping down masculinity, they also expect that men are going to rescue us from the catastrophes that we're currently facing. Guys, it was women who brought down the Roman Empire. Their actions in the Roman Empire led to the fall of the Roman Empire. And what we're witnessing now is a repeat of this. They are furious that men don't want to engage in intimacy with women who have high body counts. They don't want to marry them. They don't even want to talk to them anymore. A real man does not worry about a woman's body count. You know what Destiny's wife said? She suggested that any man that has a problem with a woman's body count, all right, doesn't want a woman, they want a child. because women have body counts, and the only people that don't have body counts are children. So what does that make you? This is how, guys. This is how sickening things are right now. And this is how low they've fallen, how low they will go. They will try to destroy your reputation. All right? And if you try to sue them, in the end, they'll just walk away. Worst case scenario, it goes nowhere. Most guys won't even have the kinds of money to sue these people, and they'll end up losing more than anything else trying to go after them. So these women will destroy your reputation just because you said that you're not into them. That what they're selling you don't want. You don't want to be in an open relationship. You don't want to sit in the corner and watch as she's being intimate with another man. You won't allow her to boss you around, disrespect you, and do whatever she wants in a relationship. You don't want a person that has been with everyone. All right? It's like 300 Spartans, but in their case, the S stands for something else. It's unbelievable. And they're making it clear. If you say you don't want us, we are going to shame you. We're going to jump on the internet and we're going to go on the attack. And we're going to call it the jerk web. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. You're a meanie. You're a meanie. What's happening now is that they're losing power. Because as men reject them and say, hey, you know what? We're not going to engage you. We're not going to have anything to do with you. They can scream and holler all they want. But then they start running out of guys to accuse. And the thing is this, the more they accuse other men, thinking that, okay, well, if we just keep accusing these men, then men are going to become silent. No, they're only going to continue. It's like women don't realize it. They think that by trying to oppress guys, they're going to fall in line by shaming men, by falsely accusing men, by destroying their lives, by cutting off their source of income and doing it in a public way. Other men are going to see this and they're going to realize that there are consequences for going against them. And if you don't want to lose your livelihood, if you don't want them to do this to you, then you're going to be obedient and do as they say and be like Destiny and be like Adam 22 and engage in degeneracy and have no backbone. And what they don't realize is that that's not how people work. Guys see this and they're going to run away. Why would anyone in their right mind fall in line with this? What women also don't understand is that life is hard for men. Women are born with their value. Men have to create theirs. Men have to go outside, go out every day and fight hard for everything in this world. And some guys forget about how hard the fight is because it was relatively easy for them. You got guys like IShowSpeed, Destiny, and some of these other guys. It was easy for them because there's a big market today for nonsense, for absolute stupidity. A lot of these guys are peddling just absolute stupidity, absolute trash, nothing of value or substance. And the internet, that's what the internet's has become built around. Just stupid stuff. People just watching stupid and outrageous stuff. You see these guys going to these houses and getting to arguments like they're really going to fight. They're not going to fight. This is what it is. And these women think that, guys, in the jerk, this is it. Like, they don't have anything else, jerk web. Like, guys, they don't realize, men no longer trust them. More and more men, all they have are the simps. All they have are the simps. And men are looking like, why would I want this? Why would I want this involved? Why would I want to get involved with this? This is disgusting. What, I'm supposed to go and get involved with this? And for example, imagine mothers telling their sons that they're supposed to go and get one of these women. Any son that hears their mother say, You should go and get one of these women. Forget about foreign girls. You should go and get one of these girls. Oh, you can find a nice girl. And the son's like, yeah, mom, all these women are like this. That's misogyny, son. That's misogyny. Yeah, mom, that's not. It's not disliking women. It's saying that I don't want these kinds of women. I want someone who has more morality and decency, and ultimately, it's gonna create problems because like these sons are gonna look at their mothers like, if this is what you're promoting, who are you as a person, mom? This is it. I told you, nothing lasts forever, and the relationship between men and women cannot be healed in our lifetime. It cannot be healed. Someone said it best. This will take at least 3 or 4 generations to fix. And that would require massive social change, change in attitudes, change in the laws, everything. It would require an overhaul. And even then, it would take 3 to 4 generations for this to be fixed. This will not be fixed in our lifetime, in our children's lifetime, in our children's children's lifetime, or in our children's 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 lifetime. Guys, 3 to 4 generations. Guys, that's about 200 years. That's over 100 years. Well, you consider the lifespan of each generation, all right? The lifespan of each generation. We're talking a couple hundred years, all right? We're not talking about 15 years, all right? Or 20 years. We're talking about a couple hundred years. If we're looking at the lifespan of each generation, we're talking about a couple hundred years. By then, men will have moved on. It will have been a normal thing, guys. I've said this before that where we're heading for in the future, in the near future, women will walk around and they will literally say, what is a girl? What is a woman? Because they will be so displaced in society and wonder how the world has become the way it is for them, where men no longer will even speak to them in the Western society because of what has occurred. And blaming men, they'll notice it just pushes them further away. And what the women are going to do is they're going to just keep blaming men. And they're just going to keep pushing them further and further away because they don't know, they have nothing else. They can't take accountability. They can't take responsibility. They are frightened of it. They are adverse to it. So they're going to keep on just pushing the men away, pushing the men away, pushing the men away. What do you guys think about this? Women are fierce and men are refusing them. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.